Fuck off, son of a bitch. Alright, Squidward, just slow it down a little bit there. We don't need to hear you talking about fucking barnacles and then throwing it in caps locks with the barnacles. It's going to be a real quick, real sleek stream. We're basically going to go over a couple of things, a couple of items. We're going to start with baseball, and you got a signing. We do have a signing here. We've got a 1-year deal being agreed upon between Cedric Mullins and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. That's going to pay him $7 million. I assume there's potential incentives in there that would bring it up a little bit more. Had his worst year last year with a 690 OPS with both Baltimore and New York. Great defensive player. He does have a speed and he does have power. Not coming close to that 30-30 year he had the other year with Baltimore. I think that's probably 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years ago. So kind of, 1 or 2 real big years, kind of fluky. As I told Dan, that would be the case when Dan had him in fantasy. And he's never really lived up to it. Solid little player. It's not a bad deal. It also looks like the Dodgers expected to re-sign Miguel Rojas to a 1-year deal. May he rot in hell. The Reds have re-signed Emilio Pagano to a 2-year, $20 million deal. It's also believed the Reds are going to have some interest in Kyle Schwarber as well. And other than that, we've just got one piece of news. So it looks like, based on my understanding, the first visit for Kyle Tucker took place earlier today. It looks like he drove up to Dunedin, which is where Toronto has their minor league team. So it looks like he did meet with the Blue Jays. You got to expect that he is going to have several other meetings, unless we were just to blow him away, make him an offer he can't decline, sort of a thing there. But I mean, it's promising to see the Jays. As the first meeting. I think the Jays are going to be involved. They're going to come right down to the wire. They're going to be top 3, and I think really ball's kind of in the Jays' court. They want Tucker. They can sign Tucker. They want Bo. They can sign Bo. They can offer more money than pretty much anyone in baseball not named Steve Cohen, and even then they could still offer pretty much the same, potentially more. But Kyle Tucker would be a huge get. I'm kind of wondering, when you kind of look at the roster construction of the Jays, especially with Aaron Namala in the minors, and kind of who we've got up the middle, and Ernie Clement, Andres Jimenez, Davis Schneider, etc., if Kyle Tucker is a bit of a better matchup for us to play the outfield, meaning maybe they let Bo Bichette go, I'm okay with it. Tucker plays better D. Tucker is extremely good, but I kind of would like both. That's getting greedy, but fuck it. If the Dodgers can do what they can do, we're like 3 times richer or more than the fucking the owner of the Dodgers. Sorry. Now we only had one other thing to go over, that being tomorrow night's game, and tomorrow night's game for a Thursday night football game especially is a very good one. You've got the Dallas Cowboys going on the road against the Detroit Lions. I believe this is a matchup for playoff seeding, for wild card seeding. So, for example, yeah, exactly. So right now, these are kind of the two teams on the outsides looking in for a playoff spot. So Dallas is the 8 seed with a 7-5 record. Cowboys are the 9 seed with a 6-5-1 record. Winner of this has a pretty good chance of making the playoffs. So, for example, if the Lions win this, they have a 55% win probability of making the playoffs, whereas currently they're at 42%. Dallas is currently at a 21% chance of making the playoffs, and they have a 39% if they get the win tomorrow. If they lose, falls to 20 for Detroit, falls to 9 for Dallas. So this is a must-win for both teams. I'd say especially Dallas. I'm going to probably just pick with my heart a little bit here. In all seriousness, I just feel like Dallas has been on a roll. I've been picking them a lot lately. They're not... So, yeah, their point differential is not great. It's like a +9, whereas Detroit's, like a 76 or something like that. Let me just get the actual numbers so I'm not throwing shit. Oh, no, I was right. Okay. So, +9 for Dallas, +76 for Detroit. Good memory, Steven. That's why I do all those Rubik's Cubes, right? But I think that Dallas, how they've been playing lately with Quinnen Williams, Logan Wilson, some of the Overshown, some of the other guys kind of come back from injury, they're playing a lot better than that +9 because they were in the negatives pretty, through a good 6, 7, 8 weeks of the year. They were definitely far in the negatives. Let's see what they can do against Jahmyr Gibbs. So I'm not ready to crown their ass, but I need Detroit to lose for the Packers' sake. So I'm going to say Detroit loses the game, and Dallas obviously is going to cover the +3. And you heard it here first. But it's going to be a good matchup. You got two high-powered offenses, both built for dome conditions. Dallas hasn't been great on the road. Detroit has been great at home. So probably Detroit will win. But I'm just speaking as a fan here. Let's go Dallas. Let's put a fork in Detroit a little bit. Make the Packers ride to the playoffs just a little bit easier. And then the Packers, we need to take care of business. We need to take care of the Bears. And then we've got a 95% chance of making the playoffs. If we just win our next game, 95% chance. If we lose our next game, 76. Currently at 89. So let's see what it is. Good game tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Detroit's got the better defense. Offense, it's a pick 'em. I'd actually say we'll see. 351 points to 350. It's going to be a good game tomorrow. And so with that, we'll be back at it tomorrow. Sorry we started a little bit late. I cannot help it when people get stuck on long calls. Sage, I will do when I get my axe. You bring your wrench, and we'll do battle. We'll put the gladiator masks on and everything, and we'll have a good little battle, okay? Until next time, have a good night. The Thunder Cloud is out.